not having it worked out exactly as planned. This was going to be a tree line overlooking the shore, but it doesn't really come out that way. So what I'm going to try to do now is make it a tree line on top of a cliff overlooking the lake or the pond of body of water. So we'll see how that works. You got to wiggle it just a little bit, right? So wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to make the cliff, right? Wiggle, 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 up and down. I'm just pressing out like a lighter area right now in between the green where I painted and the water. And I'll make it into a cliff a little bit later with shadows and stuff like that. But it's just a little wiggling up and down. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Some parts are doing it taller than others, because again, it's a cliff, right? It's going to be all over the place. So, and I'm just going to wiggle it right down to the end here. Kind of fade it out, because I'm running out of paint, really. Let's make it a little bit bigger there. Okay, and that's the end of that. Now I'm going to make it a little bit tree-like up on the top, and more of a cliff face coming down. Okay? Remember what I said about that little overhang, right? To make the, well, to separate the two, really. To make the trees stand out from the cliff, make the cliff stand out from the trees. So, very, very, very thin. I'm using Burnt Umber and Payne's Gray, a combination of both, because I kind of want it to be a little bit browny, too. More than just a black. Okay? That's very, very, very fine line. I'm not worrying about the cliff face yet. I'm just worrying about getting that lip in, that edge. It shows you where the trees stop and where the cliff starts. So I'm just building it out a little bit. You can kind of see it already, but I'm just making it a little bit more defined, so you don't have to squint. I can see it, but I'm also right on top of it. So, again, come around here, a little bent, a little bit. Just ran out of paint, or Burnt Umber, Payne's Gray. You don't need to see the palette. It's what I'm mixing. Probably a little bit darker in here because that's more of an alcove. But that actually came out to be a little bit browner than I thought. So we're working more of the brown right now, I think, than the black, because it looks like, yep, looks like more brown in the paint than black, a brown brush. So let's add a little bit of black to it. This is a little bit of an alcove. We can make it a little bit darker in that area right there, the lip. And I'll just come around here and finish this lip off. There we go. I have to find the lip of the, or the edge or whatever. And I'll start actually. The cliff face looks pretty good, a couple areas, and then the darkness I left underneath as a shadow for the cliff. So that kind of worked out well. And I'll just put in the coastline at the base of the cliff. Yeah, something like that. Little cracks in the cliffs and stuff, and the weathering. The grass up on top hasn't really been highlighted. I don't think it really needs to be. So I'm kind of finishing up that area and just working my way all over the place. I can't even say I'm working my way around the camera. So I'm kind of bouncing all over, just kind of doing weird stuff right now. So I'll stop this here. It's at 3:13.